Hello, welcome to the daily English news program on Azərbaycan Television with the major developments of the day. I am your host, İlham Məmmədov. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham delivered a speech at the official opening ceremony of the 30th Anniversary International Caspian Oil and Gas Exhibition, 13th Caspian International Power and Green Energy Exhibition, and the 30th Anniversary Baku Energy Forum, which got underway as part of the Baku Energy Week at the Baku Expo Center.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like, first of all, to greet all our guests. Thank you for being with us today, and also express gratitude to organizers for continuous support of Azerbaijan's energy agenda. As it was already mentioned, back in 1994, when the first oil and gas exhibition was held, right after that, Azerbaijan signed a contract with a consortium of international oil companies, which later was called the contract of the century, which actually changed the whole geopolitical and geoeconomic situation in the region. That was due to the vision of President Heydar Aliyev, who clearly understood that without broad international cooperation, especially in the field of energy, which at that time was probably the only attractive part of our economy, Azerbaijan would not be able not only to overcome difficulties, but also will not be able to become a really independent country. Because now, when we look back to that period, we see that road towards independence actually started from that particular historical moment. At that time, Azerbaijan was considered by foreign investors as a very risky country due to objective reasons. The country was just after the civil war. Economic situation was close to collapse. Inflation was 1,000%. Overwhelming poverty and occupation of our territories by Armenia, which led to the ethnic cleansing of hundreds of thousands of Azerbaijanis, created, as you can imagine, a very dark picture for our future. Today, when we look back, we see that our energy policy was a driving force for our economic and political success. Today, Azerbaijan is a country with a stable political system, with a developing economy. The share of oil and gas in our GDP is something more than 30%. Azerbaijan is implementing large-scale economic reforms, and our economy is self-sufficient. Our foreign debt is less than 7% of GDP, and our financial reserves exceed our foreign debt 14 times. We managed to reduce poverty due to the fair distribution of national wealth. Today, poverty level is around 5%. Invested largely in human capital, in education, and the level of literacy is close to 100%. And created a new environment in the region. Without access to the open seas, Azerbaijan today is considered to be one of the important transportation hubs of Eurasia, with our huge investments in transportation infrastructure. And also our energy projects, they changed completely the energy map of Eurasia. We built, together with our partners, strategic pipelines to connect Caspian Sea with Black Sea, with Mediterranean. And also, of course, the crown of our pipelines is the Southern Gas Corridor, which stretches for 3,500 kilometers from Azerbaijani offshore fields towards Italy. So investing in energy security of many other countries, of course, increases the geopolitical importance of Azerbaijan. We all clearly understand that energy, oil and gas, will continue to play an important role in many countries' energy security. When I was speaking at the Baku Energy Week last time, I informed the audience that we export natural gas to 8 countries. Now I'd like to inform you that the number of countries where we export our gas reached the number of 12, and this is not the end. We still are in the process of negotiations and also investments with some countries to expand our geography. So with respect to the coverage of geography by pipeline gas, I think Azerbaijan is now one of the leading countries on a global scale. So all that are positive dynamics, and we see the positive impact of our energy development not only on Azerbaijan's own potential, but on the neighborhood. So when energy resources are properly managed, when cooperation between investors, host country, transitors, actually is as it is here, then you achieve success. So it is a win-win situation, and we always looked very carefully at the balance of interest between producers, transitors, and consumers. So this, I think, is a very important factor for future energy cooperation. Our natural gas export last year reached 25 billion cubic meters, and we are planning to increase our production based on the contracts which already signed and based on the process which already is in the pipeline. If everything goes according to our plans, by 2030 we will increase gas export at a level of 8 billion cubic meters, and that will be available for international market. By that time, exactly by 2030, we again, based on already signed contracts and investment commitments, are planning to have 6.5 gigawatt of renewable energy installed capacity, and that will be more than 35% of our total energy grid. So the green agenda of Azerbaijan is very ambitious. The country which is rich in oil and gas invests together with foreign investors in green energy, which demonstrates our responsibility. So with all that green energy potential, definitely we will satisfy growing need for electricity in Azerbaijan, mainly through renewable sources. And that will save us another several billion cubic meters of gas, which will be available for export. I can understand that as a president of COP29, maybe it's not appropriate now to talk much about oil and gas, but our agenda with respect to COP29 was very pragmatic. It was far from populism, far from false narratives. It was based on the pragmatic calculations of the demand of the countries with respect to fossil fuel. And we see what happens in some countries when the balance between fossil fuels and green energy is not observed. Then it leads to blackouts, it leads to energy collapse, and it may lead to much more complicated scenario. So to keep the balance, not to follow the trend which sometimes dictate your steps, I think is the right policy. So in our case, we are increasing production of natural gas to satisfy the needs of countries which are waiting for that, and at the same time investing together with partners in our green energy projects. 8 BCM of natural gas, which we plan to have additionally by 2030, will be produced from 5 existing and new fields. So that means that investors which already are operating in Azerbaijan will increase their production. At the same time, new contracts which have been signed or will be signed soon will give this potential. Last year at Baku Energy Week, several contracts of a total of 1,000 megawatt of green energy was signed. This time, also several contracts of several hundred megawatts of green energy will be signed. So we are continuing on that path. And talking about COP29, we duly consider it as a success. It was called Baku Breakthrough because we managed to achieve many goals. I don't want to mention all of them, but the major achievements are establishment of the loss and damage fund, at the same time increase of financing to developing countries from 100 to 300 billion dollars, and also after more than 10 years of negotiations, the carbon market became functional. So this is our legacy as a host country, as a responsible actor on energy market, and as a country which always puts realistic targets and is capable to bring together different actors. One of our role at COP29 was to build bridges between global south and global north, and we managed to do it, to establish more trust between developed countries, which are the biggest polluters to environment, and those countries which suffer, and for them it is an existential threat. So we have a special financial package for small island developing states, which was announced at COP29, and we continue our efforts to help those who need our support. I'd like once again to greet all our guests and wish Baku Energy Week success. Thank you.
President İlham Aliyev received Alparslan Bayraktar, Minister of Energy and Natural Resources of the Republic of Turkey, on June 2nd. The head of state expresses gratitude to Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan for the letter sent regarding the Baku Energy Week. Expressing his gratitude to President İlham Aliyev for the reception, Alparslan Bayraktar fondly recalled his recent participation in the events held in Laçın and conveyed his congratulations on the excellent organization of the celebrations. During the meeting, both sides emphasized the role of the 30th anniversary International Caspian Oil and Gas Exhibition and the 13th Caspian International Power and Green Energy Exhibition held as part of the Baku Energy Week in establishing international cooperation, expanding relations, and applying innovative approaches in the energy sector. They expressed satisfaction with the implementation of numerous global projects under the leadership and guidance of the presidents of Azerbaijan and Turkey, highlighting the successful cooperation between Turkish Petroleum Corporation, BOTAŞ, and SOCAR. The state oil company of the Azerbaijan Republic was noted as a major investor in Turkey. The discussion also covered the implementation of significant energy sector projects in Azerbaijan, including renewable energy, with optimism expressed about further expansion of cooperation between the two countries in this field. The broad agenda for future energy collaboration was underlined, accompanied by an exchange of views on upcoming projects. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, received Mohammad Abu Nayyan, the founder and chairman of the board of directors of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's Aqua Power, on June 2nd. The meeting highlighted the cooperation between Azerbaijan and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, particularly in the energy and renewable energy sectors. They held a successful implementation of joint projects, including Aqua Power's role in the Kızılapşeron wind power plant project, set to become the largest of its kind in the Caucasus. Aqua Power has been selected to implement a seawater desalination project in Azerbaijan and is in the final phase of contract talks with the government. Discussions focus on preparations for signing final agreement and beginning construction of the plant. Mohammed Abu Nayyan congratulated Azerbaijan on successfully hosting the International Caspian Oil and Gas Exhibition and the Caspian International Power and Green Energy Exhibition. He praised the leadership of both President Ilham Aliyev and the King of Saudi Arabia and thanked the Azerbaijani president for supporting Saudi investments in the country. The meeting concluded with an exchange of views on prospects for expanding future cooperation. On June 2nd, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, received Ali Pervaiz Malik, Minister for Petroleum of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. During the conversation, the sites recalled the recent trilateral meeting held in Laçın between the presidents of Azerbaijan, Turkey, and the Prime Minister of Pakistan, describing the event as a demonstration of brotherhood and solidarity among the three countries. They commended the development of bilateral relations between Azerbaijan and Pakistan across all sectors and emphasized that bilateral cooperation also covered the energy sector. Both sides touch upon the importance of the 30th Anniversary International Caspian Oil and Gas Exhibition and the 13th Caspian International Power and Green Energy Exhibition held as part of the Baku Green Energy Week, praising the role of these important events in expanding global cooperation in the energy sector. The discussion focused on the projects for mutual cooperation in energy and renewable energy fields. Minister Ali Pervaiz Malik invited Azerbaijani companies to explore opportunities within Pakistan's energy sector. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, received Olivier Lepoche, Chief Executive Officer of the US-based Schlumberger Overseas SA, on June 2nd. During the meeting, both sides emphasized the significance of the Anniversary International Caspian Oil and Gas Exhibition and the Caspian International Power and Green Energy Exhibition held as part of Baku Energy Week. They highlighted that these events serve as important platforms for discussions on global energy issues. The successful projects carried out by Schlumberger Overseas SA in Azerbaijan were acknowledged with special emphasis on the company's 30-year involvement in development of Azerbaijan's oil and gas fields. The importance of continuing cooperation with SOCAR and BP was also underlined. Information was shared about a potential project to utilize geothermal energy sources in the Kalbajar and Laçın districts to be undertaken by the company in partnership with SOCAR Green. The discussion concluded with an exchange of views on the prospects for future cooperation between Azerbaijan and Schlumberger Overseas SA. On June 2nd, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, received John Ardil, Vice President of ExxonMobil. John Ardil conveyed greetings from ExxonMobil CEO Darren Woods to the President. President Ilham Aliyev expressed his thanks for the greetings and requested that his own greetings be conveyed to Woods. The meeting highlighted ExxonMobil's long-standing presence in Azerbaijan, including its participation as a shareholder in the Azeri-Chiraq Güneşli project. The President was also briefed on the Memorandum of Understanding scheduled to be signed today between SOCAR and ExxonMobil, focused on developing Azerbaijan's oil and gas potential. The representatives of the company specifically noted the favorable environment in Azerbaijan for the development of its oil and gas and energy sectors. On June 2nd, the head of state received members of the Azerbaijan national team, winners of the Mini Football World Cup held in Baku. Saying that the Azerbaijani national team, having shown professionalism and determination to win in all games, eventually won the title of world champions, and congratulating them from the bottom of his heart on this occasion, the head of state said that they had given the Azerbaijani people a massive joy of victory. Becoming world champion is a great honor and requires great skill, especially in a team sport. This in itself is a wonderful history. You are the ones who have written this history, and I'm glad that we have such strong mini-football players in Azerbaijan, said President Ilham Aliyev. President of the Azerbaijan Mini-Football Federation, Rövşən Məmmədov, expressed his deep gratitude to the President for receiving them and added that this was both an honorable and successful day for them, as they have become world champions on their own home soil. Head coach of the team, Elshad Guliyev, thanked the head of state for inviting them and recalled that when they became European champions in 2022, he had a sincere conversation with them and gave them his valuable instructions. President of the World Mini Football Federation, Philip Judah, said it was really an honor to be here with all those gentlemen who were representing Azerbaijan so greatly and congratulated them on this big success. He noted that the Azerbaijan Mini Football Federation is making a huge effort to have a mini football arena in Azerbaijan. He expressed hope that together with WMF and the local government, it will be a successful project. Thanking the speakers, the head of state said he was sure that this victory will give another impetus to the development of mini football. football, the Azerbaijani national team has already won all possible titles: European champion, world champion. Of course, children, teenagers, the younger generation, and those rejoicing at this victory will show greater interest in mini football, and the development of the sport will proceed rapidly in Azerbaijan, said President Ilham Aliyev. President of the Azerbaijan Mini Football Federation, Rövşən Məmmədov, then presented the keepsake to the head of state. Congratulation letters are sent to President Ilham Aliyev on the occasion of Independence Day. President of Slovakia, Peter Pellegrini, Amir of the State of Kuwait, Sheikh Mashal Al-Ahmad Al-Jabir Al-Sabah, President of the Eastern Republic of Uruguay, Yaman Orsi, Chair of the Presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Denis Bikirovic, and Crown Prince of the State of Kuwait, Sheikh Sabah Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Mubarak Al-Sabah, sent congratulatory messages to our head of state. First Vice President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Mehriban Aliyeva, congratulated the Azerbaijani national mini football team on their victory at the World Cup via a post on her social media account. The post reads, "The Azerbaijan national mini football team is the world champion. I thank our team for this outstanding victory. We are proud of you. I wish all the members of our national team strong health, strength, energy, and many more victories and achievements." That was all for the day. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.